It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Tennessee Titans and the Miami Dolphins. All that and more coming up next.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. And he takes this near the 25, just a little past there, call it the 26. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. Leading them out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Miami.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
And now a fake there on the jet sweep as they'll give to Pollard. The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Here's 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Ward. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches as we just saw him do there because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here that if you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU at Zach Wilson.
And what was really attractive about Zach Wilson coming out of college, coming out of BYU, his ability to create and make plays when many people thought they didn't exist. But what's been even better is watch him improve in the pocket, able to hit the back foot, make the right read, and the right throws.
On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. That's caught. Nick Westbrook-Akine with it. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
He'll dump this off to Achane. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Up the middle, Achane. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw.
That one out wide and intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Titans are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8.
Operating from the gun. Moore. It's caught. Lockett. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A busy 1st quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a 1st down.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Oh, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a 1st here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Moore.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
5 yards from the end zone, 1st and goal.
Off play action. Moore. This will be caught at about the 6. No gain on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They'll look to throw again. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Call it a loss of 8 there, and it's going to lead to a 4th down. 4th and goal.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. Sly able to put this one through. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves. Now, that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Right back to Achane on 2nd down.
And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Wilson.
This one complete to Jalen Waddle.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
From the 46, here's 2nd down and a yard.
Play action. Now Wilson.
That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
In motion is Westbrook-Ikhine.
They go play action now. Wilson.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet, as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Washington in motion left.
He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass.
And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. From 17 yards out.
And the Dolphins are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first quarter lead.
good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. In possession of the football from the 39-yard line. Here comes second down at 6. As they've got it as we resume action. 2nd and 6. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
The Titans on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Ward. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They toss it down to Pollard.
And he'll get this down close to a first down at about the Dolphins' 39. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 35, here's 2nd down at 7. Pollard gets it off the option.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now Ward from the gun on 3rd down.
That is caught.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 22-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one, and let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
Lockett, the motion man right.
Looking to throw.
Ward. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
2nd and 5.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium.
Yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on 3rd down. Ward. This complete to Lockett.
And the Titans are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
They'll run with Pollard.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively. They're on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Ward.
On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun. Ward. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Calvin Ridley. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Titans have regained the lead. On for the extra point.
And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays.
And Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field.
As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5.
He already did his primary job with an interception earlier, but here he gets a chance to be a pass rusher and takes on the challenge of blitzing and makes another big play. That's something to file away and maybe break out later in this one or in a future game.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
A run straight ahead with Achane.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
In motion is Westbrook-Akina.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt.
That's taken on the 25. And powering through at the 35. And he'll be out right at the 35. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And it'll be Titan football. Position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. So the drive's going to start with Pollard.
And taken down just shy of the 40.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Ball on the 39. Here's a 2nd and 7.
Looking to throw.
Ward. Complete. Jefferson the target.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Trying to run for it with Pollard.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a 1st down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Back to throw. Ward. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Ward.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. To throw is Ward. Operating from the gun.
Middle of the field to Jefferson.
And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 13-yard line. 11 yards for number 11.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Team now, they work on 1st and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop.
To Jefferson on a slant.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And it's a Titans touchdown. Tyler Lockett in the final seconds of the first half. And the Titans would extend their lead here just before halftime. That is a near-perfect end-of-half drive right there.
And we've seen that many times from the best in the league. But do you really expect to see it done that well by a rookie? And how about the timing? Finishing it almost near the zeros, as you said, right at the end of the half. Great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Sly on for the extra point.
It's good to make it 17-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime here with the visiting Titans taking the lead into intermission. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
Well, the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well. That's the kind of play this offense desperately needed. They've got to be saying, our defense has kept us in the ball game. We're down, but we're certainly not out. And maybe that was the spark that they've been searching for.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He's going to let this one go deep. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins.
Nick Westbrook-Akine, 33 yards. And the Dolphins come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. This is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
Sanders on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. After the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Titans offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go.
And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Ward now from the gun on 3rd down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And it'll be Dolphin football.
Motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Wilson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Flushed out right. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Wilson smart to take off and run with it as he's able to pick up the first.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise him with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a 1st down. Gotta love that efficiency.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
On 3rd down, he obviously wants to throw the football, but there's nowhere to go with it, so he takes off and goes. And now as he gets to the 1st down marker, he blows right past it and picks up big yardage. Partner, that's a great bit of improvisation.
Now Achane on 1st and 10.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's 2nd and 3. They go play action with Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jeffrey Simmons able to drop him for a loss of a couple. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
The kick by Sanders is good, and that will tie things at 17 all. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Titans offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Pollard will take it up the gut. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
First down, and it's Pollard again. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run. But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Ward, off play action. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And this is caught. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Titans are going to take the lead. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Slide for the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's Calvin Ridley who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. We slide out a kickoff after the touchdown. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
In motion is Westbrook-Ikhine.
Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is taken in at the 5. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown.
Nick Westbrook-Ikhine with now his second touchdown of this third quarter. And the Dolphins are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And that will tie our game here in the third quarter. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. In motion right is Ridley. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Back to throw. Ward.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. The Dolphins, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Here's Wilson.
That one complete down the field to Smith. Big strides. Look at him go. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Jonnu Smith, 79 yards. And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the third quarter. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Sanders on for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And able to get this out to the 25. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Their lead, they have seen it evaporate completely after such a good first half. They've been shut down here in the third quarter.
Searching for answers, trying to figure out what it's going to take to get back to where they were before. The big part of it is that sometimes you don't have to go exotic now. You go back to basics. Being able to run the football, string some things together, some effective passes, try and get a rhythm established again, and try and get back in the lead.
It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the fourth quarter. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Option play. Here's Pollard.
Escapes the defender. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
50 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides, but to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Pollard again. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5.
Looking to throw.
Ward. This one brought in by Jefferson.
7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
A gain of 7. First down, Tennessee.
Back to throw. Ward. It's caught. Lock it. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
Over the middle, he has Okonkwo.
His big game continues. 10 catches now and another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, a give to Pollard.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Now 2nd and 5.
Looking to throw.
Ward. Throw to the right, caught by Okonkwo.
That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Here's Ward off the bootleg. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
It'll be a gain of 5. And it'll be second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the 9, 2nd and 5. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard.
He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
3rd and 2.
Back to throw. Ward. Escaping the pressure right. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Pollard will take this into the end zone for a Titans touchdown. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here, and we're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Now Joey Sly for the point after.
And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Up for a great finish, all tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. And that's complete to Westbrook-Ikhine.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. From the gun, it's Wilson.
This one thrown underneath to Achane.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson.
Open man, Westbrook-Ikhine. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 3.
In motion, the tight end. To throw is Wilson. Complete to Washington. 7 yards there and a first down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Waddle the motion man right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass.
And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in.
Now 2nd and 4.
They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie.
They set up the screen. Achane has it.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Well, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is 3rd down now.
Throwing now is Wilson.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first. And they are knocking on the door of field goal range now.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now Wilson.
This is caught by Waddle.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. And they'll give this to Achane.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Achane here. They stay on the ground.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now,
they'll run. Achane.
and he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1.
Achane will take this in for the Dolphin touchdown.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with a touchdown run to take the lead.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
So now the Titans down by 7, 1:07 remaining. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. Oh, they hate that. Wipes out the big play.
And I know this is the NFL, so they would probably fine you for this type of a penalty. But when I was in college, you used to have to do up-downs for the number of yards that you cost a team in a big play.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them to completion.
Back to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And this nearly intercepted. Probably should have been. Had he caught it, it would have sealed it. Instead, one more chance coming up on 4th down.
And that's the downside of taking these big shots, because they're definitely lower percentage plays. And now you look up, and it's 4th down. So not only do you have to worry about getting big yardage, you also need to just keep the game alive.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. So with no timeouts and where the football is on the field, now they're in a really tough spot.
Because a field goal finishes them, right? If they give up 3, it's over, let alone trying to get the ball back. You're exactly right. Very difficult situation. All they can do is go all out when the ball's snapped and try and pop it free and get it back for themselves.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.